Hey friends, how y'all be tonight? Tonight, today, this morning, whatever time it is for you. Hey Heather, hi Rebecca, hi Frederick, hey Martha, hey Rihanna. Thank you, Heather. Good morning from Denmark. Hi Anna. Hey Crystal. I just got out of the pool. It was a really gorgeous night. We're in Calistoga. I'm shining. I know, I love it here. I'm in one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, in the Napa Valley in California. And hi, Jamie. Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's been very hot here, actually. Very, very hot. So we just had a very hot dinner on the patio because everything's outside right now. And dunked in the pool afterwards and swam and swam and swam. And it's just a beautiful night. I love summer nights. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. It's just being outside in the summer. Any time of day, but at night especially. And yeah, just enjoying. So we've been here. My man, I call him my beyond hubby, my partner Brian. We've been here for a few days in the Napa Valley in California, and he's actually here. We're here because he's creating a new business, and it's in the wine, kind of related to the wine industry. And he is an oral surgeon. He has been an oral surgeon for a long time. And he's wanting to jump tracks with his business. And he's choosing that. He's creating it. Some really cool stuff in the works in his world. And it's been really inspiring for me to watch him create this new business and just what he's really excited about. I tried to rope him into coming on with me, but he's not a Facebook Live guy. He was like, maybe tomorrow. And I was like, this is happening right now. So, maybe he'll make an appearance at some point, but it's been so cool just to watch him create and the world has changed so much for all of us lately, and it's been it is such a different time. And I would say really, like, for me, just so welcomed in a way, not all the crazy shit that's going on, but just, hi Katie, but just the change, it's a time for a lot of change. And obviously, we're all seeing that in so many different ways in different areas. And it really is a time for a lot of, like, mixing it up and doing things different and having a different reality in the world. And there's, so many things that are just sort of breaking down and falling apart, and like a lot of thank you, Heather. You're so sweet, so kind. Thank you so much. But it's like, it's really, I feel like this whole COVID time and everything that's been going on, it's like really putting things right in front of our faces in terms of like, hey, do you actually desire to, you know, like, is your life pleasurable? Is your life what you desire it to be? Is your life working for you, you know? And I mean, you know, there's a lot of ways that that my life has worked for me for a long time, and also just a lot of ways where I've had the opportunity to go, wow, you know, I thought that worked for me, but you know, there may be something different, something greater here than I've ever, you know, imagined before. And just this opportunity to choose something greater and different. And it's been really cool to just kind of take stuff apart, you know, and taking stuff apart and looking at something greater and looking at something different and looking at, okay, really, if I was actually creating the life that I truly desire, that I truly love, like a truly pleasurable life, you know, and it's like, is that, like, what would that actually look like, you know? And I invite you all to just, if you would like to, just play with that. Like, does your life bring you pleasure? You know, is it pleasurable for you? Is it joyful for you? Is what you do with your days pleasurable and joyful? And this is where it's like, we gotta get vulnerable with ourselves, because when it's not, that can be a tricky moment. You know, it can be just one of those moments where it's like, oh, okay, you know, shit, I gotta readjust, reevaluate, you know, like, do something different here. But the thing is that I know, like, whenever I've looked at making a really big change in my life, it's always sort of been, you know, intimidating, or it's come with this element of sort of trepidation or whatever. But it's always worth it. You know, I was doing a private session with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about, I said, you know, if in 5 years your life looked nothing at all like you think you would like it to right now, like from this vantage point. And so I invite you guys all to just look at this. Like, if your life, like, whatever you think you desire about your life right now, the beauty, the joy, the, you know, creation, the business, whatever it is, it's like, if fast forward 5 years and your life looks nothing like you think you would like it to right now, but it's more phenomenal than you can imagine, are you going to care that it doesn't look like you thought it would? Probably not, you know. And this was this moment in this conversation with this beautiful lady where she went, oh fuck, no. Like, if these people aren't the same, if I have to let go of people from my life or let go of things from my life, it's like, in order for it to be more phenomenal than I can imagine, you know what, that's not that big of a deal, you know. Because a lot of times, you know, we keep our lives from changing, we keep our worlds from changing, because we think we need to hold on to people around us. And what if you don't? Like, what if, and it's not about like throwing people out, you know, but what if the people in your life are not actually like significant, you know, and it's really about what you would like to create, and the people that play with you and stick around and that you'd like to have in your life and that would like to be in your life. Like, what if everybody in your life was actually a contribution to something greater? And when your life is full of people that are not a contribution to something greater, then that's really a moment to take a peek and go, oh, dang, you know, what am I actually choosing here? You know, I years ago, 10 years ago, I was really overhauling my life. I was creating something super, super different. I had just gotten divorced and I was asking for something really different. And we were just talking about this tonight. I was talking to Brian, my partner, about this, because we met just about 10 years ago. And his life was falling apart 10 years ago. He was getting divorced and really unhappy. It's his 60th birthday tomorrow. And he was kind of reminiscing on, what his 50th birthday was like. And he was really, really pretty bummed out on his 50th birthday. And, fast forward, here we are 10 years later, like, he's so happy. We are so happy. He's so happy. His life is so much greater, so different, And for me, it was the same thing. It was like, I got divorced, and it was the sense of like, I don't know what I'm, like, it's not like I left my marriage for something that I knew, but I left my marriage for something that was greater, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew that it was greater. And that was all I really needed to know, is that it was greater. I didn't need to know what it was, And so often we think we need to know what it's going to be, everything that's going to show up, and what we're going to choose in order to have something greater. But truly, if you are willing to just jump, like really jump, and go to that totally different universe of creation where you don't even know necessarily what you're choosing, all I knew is I was like, I just really would like to have something so different than what I have right now. I'd really like to have something that is like so much more fulfilling to me, and where like my relationships are just so different, and my business reality is different, and my reality as a mom is different, and it was just this sense of like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to involve. But I do know that there's something a millionfold greater. And that's what I would actually like to choose. And when I got divorced, my kids were very little. And I really had no idea, like, how I was going to create it or what I was going to create. But I knew that what I desired for my life to be like the pleasure of my life. I knew that my life was not very pleasurable, and I knew that it could be. I knew that it could be a million times more pleasurable than it was. And I didn't have the details of it. But I just went, you know what? I'm jumping off this totally unknown cliff into something greater and different, because I know that there's something greater and different. And it's like when we trust the universe, I mean, gosh, when we trust the universe to create with us and to show us the possibilities and to show us the beauty of everything that's available, and we don't have to control it, and we don't have to make it happen or force it or whatever. It's like when we trust that, there's so much more that becomes available. And I was thinking about that tonight. I was swimming in this beautiful swimming pool. I was looking up at the sky. I was on my back, and I was looking up at the sky and just going, God, the universe, it has our back in these incredible ways. It's just so much more than we realize. And we live in so much fear, and we live in so much worry and stress, and we live in so much like, we live in just such a state of like, just like hyper alert, of like, and it's, those spaces are the spaces that actually diminish what we can receive. And it's like, and trusting the universe, especially right now and with everything that's going on, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it also is like, what else are we gonna do? I mean, the world is kind of falling apart right now. You could look at it from that perspective. But I would say also that the world has jumped tracks. We've jumped tracks to a really different reality. And if we look from the old lens and we look from what we knew before, it's going to look pretty freaky, you know? But if we look and go, wow, what's actually available? Like, what's possible and available now that we've never considered? What's making itself available? Like, what are the possibilities that are just showing up here? It's like there's going to be millions of possibilities that we will begin to perceive and receive. And they won't look like you think they will. They won't look like you thought they would. They won't look like anything you've ever seen before, you know? And I look at that with, like, if I go back to the example of my relationship, it's like 10 years ago, I was going, shit, something so much greater, so different, so much more phenomenal with my whole life, you know? And I don't know what that looks like, you know? And what I've created is like not at all what I thought it would look like, you know? Never was like, I'd love to be in a relationship with somebody that I don't live with, you know? For 10 years, you know? We've been in a beautiful relationship for 10 years and we've never lived together. We circle the globe together, you know, and apart. But I wouldn't have known that that was something that would be pleasurable for me. I wouldn't have known that that was something to even ask for, you know. But I just asked for something different, and I let the universe show me what was available, what was possible, and I was willing to just jump cliff after cliff after cliff, track after track after track, and just go, okay, now there's this, now there's this, now there's this, now there's this. Now this matches the energy of what I've been asking for. Now this matches the energy of what I've been asking for. And boy, you know, I do not have anything down. Like I don't claim to have mastered this stuff, you know, but I do know that when we let go and we trust and we receive, that there's so much more that's available. So much more that's available. I know that. And I talk myself into those spaces often. You know, sometimes it's easy to be like, oh yeah. I mean, tonight, swimming in a beautiful pool, looking up at the sky, you know, in this gorgeous place. It's like, those are the easy moments to go, oh yeah, hell yeah. The universe has my back, you know. But when we're in our shit, when we're in our, you know, we're in our like grungy, grindy moments, or we're in our, you know, these spaces of like doubt or, you know, whatever it is, it's like those moments where we're like, fuck, I don't know if this is gonna work out, you know. To, at that point, go to the trust of the universe and the trust of ourselves and the beauty of the what's available with life and living, you know. That's a whole different choice. And it's oh wow. Yuvika, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. I said I didn't know what meditation looked like. After listening to you, I know now. Thank you so much. That's gorgeous. Yeah. You know, and really it's like, what if that's just what could be, you know? It's just this sense of, gosh, you know, what if we could really let our minds go? Really. And just be. And trust. Because in the crazy of this world right now, there's a lot of shit going down out there, you know? And if we buy into it, then that's what sort of becomes the sum total of our world. But if we don't, and we are just willing to relax and receive the pleasure of living in these little moments, these moments of hearing the water, hearing the fountain over there, or just tapping into the space of this video, or just being present with the earth. It's like those spaces are always available to us. And in the silence, they get louder. They actually get louder because there's no cacophony of this reality and of the world. There's no noise drowning out what's true for you. And when that goes away, the pleasure of what's available and the pleasure of living in our lives and our bodies, it just flourishes. And we can really create from there. Like there's this super delicious, dynamic space of creation that shows up. Orgasmic life, exactly, Mauricio. Yeah. The universe has our backs in ways that we sometimes cannot fathom. I mean, who knew that a, pandemic would create so much beauty? And I get that that's not all that it's creating, but there's so much beauty showing up on the earth, with the earth, and in a lot of people's lives, if you're willing to run with whatever it presents itself to you. So much beauty. I wouldn't be here right now if this thing hadn't happened. I think I'd be in Europe or something. I don't know. I was planning on being in Europe a lot this summer. And that would be different. It'd be wonderful and different, But it's like, what if we could really just trust? Really trust. And run in the direction of the pleasure of life and living. And the earth is healing and changing so fast, yeah. And we are too. We really are, And I look at just what's available in this change. It's asking to be ushered into reality for all of us, through all of us. And it takes some courage to just go. And to jump. And to choose it. And to go, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm actually choosing. But it's light. It matches what I've been asking for energetically, so fuck it. I'm going. I mean, I did that when I got divorced. I was like, you know what? This isn't working. It's not horrible, but it's not really working. So fuck it. Let's change it. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world, And it ended up being one of the greatest choices I've made that created something so different in my life. I mean, still, it's reverberated into my future for years and years. And we don't always know what that's, what's being created from our choices, but you can know that the future that is asking to be created through you, it will show itself to you, and it will indicate where to go, in a way, not from the computation of it, but just from the sense of like, hey, psst, I'm your future. I'm the future. And come over here, come over in this direction, and you do, and then it's like, wow, like the joy and the pleasure of being alive and of creation are just fucking magnificent. And that's one of the things that kind of brings me to my knees every day in gratitude is, wow, this planet it's such a gift. It doesn't really matter what's going on. I mean, I'm not glossing over it, I'm not minimizing it, but what if the way to deal with what's going on in the world right now is to create a different reality and to jump tracks to a different reality that has been asking to be birthed through us for a long time. And what if we could just say yes to that? You don't have to know how ever again. You don't even have to know what ever again. Just choose. Those energies where you're like, oh shit, that seems to match my future. Let's do it, and you just choose it. And then you go. And that's part of this jumping of tracks to a different reality, a different world, a different future. So what pleasure can you choose? What pleasure can you embrace? What pleasure can you just run in the direction of that will make your life so much greater in every way? Your business, your relationships, your body, your family, your money flows, just so much greater. And what if you just said yes to it? I don't know what you are. I don't know how to get there, but yes. Yes, yes, yes. And you just ran in the direction of that. So thank you all for hanging with me on my sweet little patio here tonight. I have so many amazing things coming up to just dive more into this and so much more. Lots of creation classes coming up. There's a Jumping Tracks with Your Business class on Tuesday. It's a one-time call. There's a 3-day Business Done Different class next weekend. The Relaxation of Creation, which is happening at the end of July. So many things. I have a monthly membership and generative business pods. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. You can find all of it on my website, heathernichols.com. But really, guys, it's time for us to create. It's time for us to choose something that's just fucking yummy and delicious and amazing. Even if you don't know what it is, it's time to go, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. Beatrice, thank you. So thanks all for being here with me, and really, really go forth and have way more fun than you're supposed to, way more pleasure than you're supposed to, way more liveliness and aliveness than you're supposed to, way more creation and engagement and the beauty of living than you're supposed to. The world really, really requires that of us right now. It's actually the greatest way to change the world is to choose that and to have fun. Ignore the dying reality and choose something different that is the joy, the pleasure, and the beauty of your living, your life and your living. Now is the time. Thank you, everybody, so much for your gratitude. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Truly, you are a gift. Way more than you realize. Way, 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 way more. We all are. Please don't ever forget that. Go have fun.